here unapologetically say fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck ABC.
Fuck ABC.
Fuck Elon Musk.
Fuck Elon Musk.
And fuck Donald Trump.
And fuck Donald Trump.
There is no way that America will let you legalize hate and criminalize truth. The problem is, we've been too nice. We must tell them, if our lives don't matter, yours don't either.
If I was getting jumped by 3 dudes and asked for your help, what would you do? Would you help me? Or would you sit there and watch? Let me know.
Not only would I fucking watch, I would tell everybody around us to put down their cell phones so the 3 people kicking the shit out of you would not get arrested.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, my people of the hip-hop community, of the New York City goth scene, and all around the world? This is your boy in the building, MC Too Tall. What up? And broadcasting right in front of Grant's Mansion, it is the MC Too Tall Show. And I was going to do a segment on some hillbillies and one Mexican cartel member that were pimping off 10 children out of a bunker in Alabama. But then I stumbled across Walter Newsome, Walter Hawk Newsome, Walter Twat Newsome, a very cunty individual that bitterly said F Charlie Kirk, F Elon Musk, F ABC, F Donald Trump in the middle of Times Square. I don't know if he's doing that to test the waters of his First Amendment rights, or if he really believes this in his heart of hearts. And you gotta question that, because he is the head of the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter is a grifter entity founded by a woman named Patrisse, funded by George Soros, who is the founder and operator of the Open Society Foundation, which means Walter Newsome gets a check cut to him directly by George Soros to spread hate and division and put it under the guise of racial equality. He wants to keep people angry, keep people bitter, keep communities divided so that there is no harmony. So when he says F Charlie Kirk, he is cursing and besmirching the name of a person who died in his efforts for civil discourse and overall national and worldwide civility. Thus meaning he wants division. And he only wants division because someone's cutting him a check for that. Walter Newsome is a pay-for-play black activist who is paid by a bitter old foreign white man by the name of George Soros. And there's no question about this. It's obvious, it's plain as day. To argue this is to be just plain stupid. And I could say just ignore this, but apparently this person has a great deal of influence. I'm sure this video will get me on his radar, and he will send his cronies after me. It wouldn't be the first time I had a bullseye somewhere on me somewhere. But here we are. We gotta fight for what's right. Fight, fight, fight. And I believe wholeheartedly in a strong and prosperous America that has gratitude and respect for God for all of it being possible. And that's just my take on the matter. That's my mission. That's always been my mission for many years. It's always been what I wanted out of life for many years throughout my life. But that can't be achieved with divisive people running around the world, gaining so much power and influence. This is an insightful scumbag. He wants to be called Hawk Newsome. Which is so funny is that a lot of neolibs and neocons are called chicken hawks or war hawks because they want people fighting other battles for them. They want other people fighting battles for them while they sit behind a desk or sit in the lap of luxury as other people's children go out to die. And when these riots take place in the street, believe you me, Walter Newsome is living lavishly in the lap of luxury, collecting that check by bitter old foreign white man George Soros. He's a tap dancer for George Soros. So all his angry militant talk is a tap dance to appease George Soros. So he may as well stand in Times Square, do his little tap dance with a big grin on his face and say, "Yes, Master George Soros, yes, Master. Keep giving me them shekels. I'm gonna be a good divisive boy for you." And that's what George Soros is about. That is what Walter Newsome is about. This is a person who sat at Peaceful Discourse with Candace Owens, and I believe also Officer Tatum was there. And here he is now, cursing the name of a close friend of Candace Owens, who is no longer walking among us. Talk about stabbing black people in the back. So you saw two clips there, one of him in Times Square cursing Charlie Kirk, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and ABC. And the other clip is one of a random police officer asking, I guess he's doing it for clickbait or whatever, but, you know, the guy risks his life. So he's entitled to do that, I guess, if he has the time to do that. I personally would have just not done that video and fought bad guys, but whatever. It actually helped expose Walter Newsome for what he is. And the cop asks, if I get jumped by 3 dudes, would you help or would you stand there and watch? And Newsome explains in detail that not only would he watch, but he would make sure all the people around him would put away their phones and help the 3 dudes jumping that police officer to elude arrest, which would probably include killing that police officer, who he doesn't know personally, who had done nothing to him, but because he is a man in a police officer's uniform, to Walter Newsome, he is the enemy. And people like Walter Newsome, or at least the people who listen to Walter Newsome and hang on his every word, if you're a black man that puts on the blue, you might as well be white, and therefore you are the enemy, and you must be stopped at all costs from whatever it is you're doing. Whether it's fighting crime, getting rid of the riffraff, or on your break stopping at a Dunkin' Donuts. You have to be stopped if you're putting on a police uniform, according to the blind followers of Walter Newsome. And I'll say it again, BLM collects money from George Soros, and then they match the funds from outside donations. And then once all that money is raked in, it's not put into programs to keep black youth off the streets in New York, Chicago, and LA, and so forth. It's put towards mansions for Patrisse, so she can live in a white neighborhood because she hates whitey so much. And so Walter Newsome is a fake black activist. A real activist of any side, no matter what you're representing, would want some sort of civility between their community and neighboring communities. This is fact, this is truth, because we all have to live here on God's green earth. And we might as well do that without unwarranted violence against one another. But here is angry, violent talking Walter Newsome trying so hard to incite yet another riot in another part of an already divided city so that he could run and duck behind a microphone and conduct an interview safe and at a distance from whatever riot he may cause wherever in the city. The man won't fight the fight. He'll send his cronies out to fight the fight. And if those cronies end up on the losing end of that fight, of course, the people defending themselves from those cronies will be rebranded as agitators, aggressors, and racists, even if there are some among those defending themselves who are as black, if not blacker than they are. He's the type of person that if he were to send an army out to go attack Jesse Jackson and his people, and they fought back, he would turn around and try to rebrand Jesse Jackson as a racist. It's all about division, so he could continue to get that bag off the nutsack of George Soros. He is the cup. He is the cup, and George Soros represents the tea bag. And he keeps chasing the bag, and he does this divisive talk to chase the bag. Meanwhile, the only person he answers to within Black Lives Matter lives luxuriously in a multi-million-dollar mansion in a white neighborhood. And these are undeniable facts. I'm not just pulling all this out of my asshole. This is really happening. This is actual. This is factual. Go do the research on your own. Stop looking for gotchas. I am a credible source. Just for simply having the common sense to look up a few things and see it with my own eyes. To talk to a few people that have some prior knowledge of some of these things. And then I draw a logical conclusion, piece it together, and here I am before you, broadcasting from the front of Krantz Mansion. And I'll say it again. We all have to live here on the same planet, on the same globe that we often refer to as God's green earth. So if we do have to do all that, we might as well do it without going at each other's throats and understanding that the real enemy are the higher ups that pay these agitators to say what they say and do what they do. And this goes beyond fat guy, LMAO, Walter Newsome. There are people actively working against the side of righteousness. And of course, the side I speak on behalf of is the side of righteousness. And people need to come to a hetero white messiah realization that it's not about black and white. Oftentimes it's not even about entire nations. It's simply about right versus wrong, good versus evil, God versus the devil, and ultimately Donald Trump versus the Illuminati. And George Soros and Walter Newsome are obviously on the side of the Illuminati. George Soros is a working component of the Illuminati, and Walter Newsome is a puppet of the Illuminati, as is rapper guy Talib Kweli, who lost a lot of credibility with me years ago when he tried to call me a fascist and tried to dox me. Yes. Somebody who's part of a hip-hop duo that had a classic hip-hop record from the 90s tried to dox a guy who at the time didn't even have 300 subscribers on YouTube. They feel threatened when their grift is crumbling. And he's an Illuminati puppet. Walter Newsome is an Illuminati puppet. I don't know if Don Lemon realizes this, but he's an Illuminati puppet. A lot of these people are Illuminati puppets. They're in the pockets of people like George Soros and the Open Society Foundation. They're in the pockets of other entities, and even if they have their own platforms or whatever, claim they're working independently, they are receiving funds from working, active components of the Illuminati. And I'll say it again, it's right versus wrong, good versus evil, God versus the devil, and Donald Trump versus the Illuminati. So on to I say this concludes this episode of the MC Too Tall Show. I'll try to talk about that Alabama thing sometime soon. But in the meantime, respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, New York City goth scene ambassador, MC Too Tall. And please, be safe out there.